Hello, welcome to this last session of the 6th week of our course Marketing Management Part 2, and we are discussing this week channels, distribution, intermediaries, logistics and retail merchandising. In the last session I concluded with this slide that is on your screen. It is regarding the modern retail marketing environment. In the modern retail marketing environment, there is an intense use of technology. Technology is used for improving the retail business operation. I was discussing about how in a very large networked retail operation like Walmart, they know at every store from the point of sale, every store keeping unit, every soap that is sold, and accordingly they use a demand based fulfilling. So, which means that every soap that is sold out, correspondingly a soap is on its way to that particular store, retail outlet, and correspondingly the whole information system feeds it to the supplier of soaps, and or in some cases even to manufacturers, sub suppliers, so that the fulfillment chain can be activated on the basis of pull, on the basis of every sale that is made. This sort of real time information based inventory management and pipeline management, supply chain management, delivery chain management is a regular feature of a good retail operation of today. Technology is also used to enhance the shopper's experience in the retail outlet by way of monitoring the shopper's movement. The merchandising layouts are often improved, so that related merchandise are kept in a way that the shopper has the least inconvenience. So, baby products will be kept in such a way that not only diapers and such baby products, but also young parents may need to buy other products and they will all be sort of co-located or will be put according to a layout logic which will be easily understood by the target customers. Also many experiments are made with store ambience like music or like smell. All these are experimented with technology, and based on those feedbacks shoppers experiences are improved. And these days also there is almost real time analytics of social media, so that products which are on the shelves, how they are being appreciated, or even many stores encourage customers to comment on social media or through tweets, etc., and such feedbacks or customer reactions are aggregated, analyzed, interpreted, and accordingly store inventory decisions, store layout, shoppers movement decisions are taken. So, this the information system and use of information communication technology has really brought a lot of efficiency today to the retail operation, and has vastly reduced slow moving inventory and pipeline inventory, and on the whole therefore the financial efficiency of the retail businesses have improved due to use of information, communication, sensing, actuating and other technologies. Even heating, ventilation and air conditioning expenses are large expenses of large format stores. Even those are now controlled, sensing the actual number of people in the store, and accordingly temperature control is managed, energy consumption is managed, illumination level is managed. So these are very effective uses of technology to improve the efficiency of business operations and enhancing of shoppers' experiences. So retail marketing decisions, therefore, at the concluding we can say will be based on your target market, the different channels, the product assortment, the procurement, prices, store atmosphere, service levels, store activities and experiences, communications, locations. These are all retail marketing decisions. So lot of these decisions about what is the whole process of market segmentation, targeting and positioning that we have discussed in our previous marketing management session MM1. The last week we have discussed about channels and distribution, and all those really come to play at the retail management at the front line level. And I'm going to discuss many of these about we have discussed services and the importance of ambience and service scape, just like landscape concepts we will discuss maybe in a later week when we discuss specifically services marketing. But let me discuss a little bit about services in the context of retail. So services can be pre-purchase services, which are by way of shopping assistants, the shopper floor assistant role of advising customers, giving them comparative information, pointing out the appropriate products to them based on understanding of their requirements. So these are pre-purchase services provided by retailers, and we have found through research that in consumer durables or high value consumer products like cameras, phones, etc., the shopping the floor assistant's role, the employees of the retailers play very crucial role. They can actually often improve the sales performance of individual products if they are properly informed and they are properly able to advise the customers. Similarly, of course, there are post purchase services where faults are attended, defects are rectified, replacements are made, and proper advice is given with respect to correct usage. And then there can be ancillary services relating to transportation of say for example a washing machine you purchase and delivery to your home, installation. All these are sort of ancillary services not directly related to defect handling or customer problem solving, but giving them additional services to make it like a end-to-end process. A very interesting decision area in retail marketing is location. Where should the retail outlet be located? Whether it should be in the central business area or near in the regional shopping center, or it should be near community shopping centers, or it should be a standalone store, or it should be a location within a large store, or it should be located in a bazaar like the Palika Bazaar or New Market in Calcutta or Palika Bazaar in Delhi. These are decisions which are to be taken based on the type of product, the frequency of purchase, the ticket value of each purchase and so on. And you should observe in your city or in your town how different shops are located at different points and why shops are clustered. For example, in many towns you will find one place where many of the shoe shops are located, or many of the luggage shops are located, or many of the tailors are located, or many of the fabric merchants and apparel shops are located. So, why they co-locate? Please think about it, and let us have a discussion on this at the forum, that whether they should what should decide that suppose you are actually setting up a retail outlet for low fat new generation organic snack foods. Where should you locate your retail? Should you have intense distribution, or should you have selective distribution? Should you only be at should you open a standalone store, or you should have a store within a large store like Big Bazaar? Think about it and let us have discussion on the forum. Another topic is private label. Private label is a brand that retailers and wholesalers develop. So, I think I have discussed this. These private labels often compete with major brands, and usually the retailers or wholesalers, they provide attractive price. So, you may be having a private label for say cooking spices, and they will be co-located on the shelf with the top brand spices, and the store private label spices will be slightly lower priced, or will be given some other selling point, like they are coming from cottage industry, or they are hand picked, or etc., quality level is higher and so on. And today because of the power of the retailers, manufacturers or brand owners are often accepting this co-location and this competition from private labels. Wholesaling is another interesting point to discuss. We have discussed many aspects of wholesaling in the earlier parts of this week's discussion, but like for example a new form like this metro cash and carry, or there are other cash and carry operation. Cash and carry means these are stores which are not for consumers but for retailers. So, retailers go to these stores, buy at an advantageous price various items which are to be retailed. So, and they therefore help in the logistics management. So, retailers can go every day and pick up required stuff from this cash and carry outlets. There is a metro cash and carry in Calcutta, or I think there is one in Bangalore, and they supply retailers from fish to vegetables to grocery items to personal cleaning, personal care items, house cleaning items, to t-shirts, to shoes, even consumer durables. So, these are large operations and help to provide the retailer only that much that the end retailer or small retailer is able to stock, and titles get transferred. They really, the retailers come and purchase the items, but they can therefore modulate, they can buy every day. So, they do not have to have a large inventory at the back end of the shop, and that gives a lot of advantage. So, wholesalers are of different types again, just like retailers are of different types. The wholesalers can be merchant wholesalers, or they can be full service wholesaler. That means they not only provide the products, but they also provide access to services, etc. There are specialized wholesaler, or there can be across the border wholesaler, And then there are also brokers and agents. These are different types of intermediaries we have discussed, but some of them also perform the wholesaler's role. The wholesalers functions are mainly stocking, inventory, transportation, assortment building. That means a wholesaler may actually put together a whole basket for a typical neighborhood store. So, they may provide detergents and soap and personal care products all as an assortment to a retailer. 10 items of this, 5 items of a detergent, and 20 items of a particular type of soap, and so on. So, they in a way help as they perform the back end operation of many small retail outlets, and they therefore do the function of bulk breaking. That means they get from manufacturers maybe packets of 100, and then they break that bulk into smaller 5, 10, 15 size packets for the end retailers. And of course, they provide the warehousing function, transportation, financing, risk bearing, market information, and they also often provide consulting services to retailers. In fact, people like HUL or ITC through their wholesalers give a lot of shopping and technology support to small retailers, which ultimately benefits of course those manufacturers. I am now going to conclude today's session by discussing about logistics. The word logistics actually relate to the supply chain management. There are other words like integrated logistics systems, third party logistics, TPL, and all of these terminologies are related to logistics, which fundamentally means the flow of material from the manufacturer to the end consumer through different stages and different sort of transportation possibilities. So, when you plan logistics, then you have to think about the companies, start with the value proposition, and accordingly you have to decide your best channel and networking strategy, and then develop the operational plan and then implement the solution. So, if you are suppose coming up with a new generation soft drink which is going to take the competition with the existing brands head on, then you have to go for a big bang, at least in a region you have to go for a big bang all out distribution. So, you have to therefore plan according to this, the value proposition of your product, and accordingly you have to decide your channel and network strategy. So, market logistics decisions are related to order processing, how should we handle orders, warehousing, where should we locate our stock, in how many places, in what volume, inventory, how much stock should we hold, how many times the retailer should place orders on the wholesaler, transportation, how should we ship the goods. These are typical marketing logistics decisions. Take for example this graph on which is on your screen regarding economic order quantity or optimal order quantity, usually known in literature as EOQ. So, if you see the total cost is P into D. P means that it is the price per unit into the total demand for the year, and then total demand multiplied by K by Q, where K stands for the fixed cost per order, and so per unit. So, that K by Q will actually give you the ordering cost per unit. So, D into K by Q will be kind of the ordering cost, and H by 2 into Q will be the holding cost, average holding cost for the per unit. So, if we take the first order derivative of this, and that gives us a square root of 2 dk by h. This is the formula for the economic order quantity. But you can understand this economic order quantity also very well by looking at this graph which is in front of you. As you see, inventory carrying cost, that means every unit that you are storing, so that obviously will be varying proportionately with the number of orders being, number of items being ordered. So, it will be a linear relation, because more number of units are carried means more storage space, means more air conditioning, means more expenses. So, it is a linear relationship. On the other hand, order processing cost per unit goes down with depending on the quantity ordered per time, because if you actually increase the number of units ordered at a time, then per unit order processing cost comes down. If these two, one is linearly increasing and another is exponentially decreasing, if these two are combined, then you get a bathtub type of graph. And so, the point where the two graphs intersect gives us the minimal total cost per unit, or the economic order quantity indicator. And lastly, these days there are very interesting improvements in transportation which the retailers are taking advantage of. So, we have concepts like piggyback, which means that when you are transporting by for one manufacturer all the soaps, maybe you will use that same to transport the detergents. So, similar items, transportation logistics are planned together in an aggregate, that is known as piggyback. There are terminologies like fishyback, where actually you combine sea or water transportation with land transportation, and like that there are number of multi-mode transportation of related products, but the whole thing will depend on what is the network design of your distribution, and accordingly your warehousing pattern, and how therefore you will send out different packets in different directions using different modes. So, to a large extent this problem is quite similar to a communication network design and operation. That sort of concludes our discussion, short discussion on logistics. More details about logistics you can learn from the supply chain management course, but for our marketing side of retailing, this introduction is important. Also, for more details you can read chapter number 13 of this Kotler and Keller textbook that I had referred. This is the 15th edition available in India. So, with that we conclude our this week's discussions on distribution, channels, intermediaries, partners, and logistics, merchandising and retailing. Thank you.